You need more melatonin. Melatonin is much more than just helping you get to sleep. And sometimes that's all we associate it with it. So, my goal today is to help you get it, which is simple morning sunshine. Huh? Does that surprise you? And different ways that melatonin benefits you. So, in the morning, when your eye receptors catch that melatonin, it signals and determines how much melatonin you're going to create at nighttime. So your morning sun determines how you will get to sleep. Now, sometimes people think that melatonin will keep them asleep during the night. It doesn't keep you asleep. It determines how you get to sleep. And we know that we don't want to fall into bed and just crash and be asleep in 1 second. That's tired adrenals. That's a whole nother video. Magnesium, voltage, that stuff. But we want to get into bed and take 10, 12 minutes for our body to wind down and then go into sleep. If that's not happening for you, it's a melatonin issue. Now, a lot of times people, I'm going to slow down a little bit. A lot of times people think melatonin is only for sleep and that taking a melatonin supplement is awesome. Let's talk about the dark sides of a melatonin supplement. First, melatonin is a hormone. It's a hormone. You're messing with your hormones when you take a synthetic melatonin supplement. Second, when you take that supplement, it downregulates your own body's ability to produce because it says, oh, we got melatonin. I don't need to produce more. So it's like, think of your melatonin muscle and it's weakening that melatonin muscle. Oh, let me switch over here to comments. Morning, good morning, good morning. My goal today is to be more observant of the comments. I get thinking of what to talk about and I forget to look at comments. So that's my goal. So sometimes I have a melatonin supplement in my home and I use it when I'm traveling and need to reset my circadian rhythm. That's what melatonin does. It resets your circadian rhythm and it works with dopamine. So your stores of melatonin are activated, and how much melatonin you will produce is determined in the morning. Right now, you and I walking are increasing how much melatonin our body has access to. So that synthetic melatonin, I do have it, but it's a very specific type. So if I were to use melatonin, I use it if I'm traveling and my time zones have changed because I want to quickly get back into that circadian rhythm. A strong circadian rhythm is a strong, healthy body and healthier hormones. And so I will use it. The only kind I would use currently, this may change, the only kind I would use is Bulletproof's because his is a natural form versus a synthetic form. And it's, you take a smaller amount of that than you would a synthetic melatonin. I lifted a ton of weight yesterday and my shoulders are sore to hold my phone. So I'm going to flip back and forth a lot. Good morning, Donna. So melatonin does more than just help you sleep though. And I really want to focus on that today because, as you know, I have an agenda. And my agenda is to help you understand the role of morning sunshine to turn your healthy switch on. Melatonin helps hormone balance. It sets circadian rhythm. If you do not have a strong circadian rhythm, you don't have balanced hormones. And minutes and hours are man-made. Like we created those. Our cells, mitochondria, ATP, they don't recognize 7 p.m. or 6 a.m. They do recognize light and dark, and that's what sets the circadian rhythm. The stronger your circadian rhythm, the stronger your hormone balance. Now, for those of you like me entering menopause, um, or in the middle of menopause, or at the end of menopause, wherever you're at with that, during menopause, melatonin becomes even more important to help you with that transition. And I have a real pet peeve about going through menopause because your hormones never come up, but that's a different video too. We'll talk about that one. So, melatonin sets, oh gosh. Oh, my husband was like, you can do it, you can do it. Yeah, I can do it, but now I can't move my shoulders. So, it sets that circadian rhythm. A strong circadian rhythm also, for someone who is on their menstrual cycle and still experiencing that, strong melatonin, which creates a strong circadian pattern, will actually determine when bleeding happens. It's powerful stuff. The other thing that melatonin does, one of the other things, is think of it like a vibrant, your vibrancy. Have you ever met someone who's older and they're just vibrant? Part of that, not all, but part of that is a lot of melatonin. So think of it like an aging hormone. The less melatonin you have, the older, and not older because I'm okay with looking older. I am older. I want to be vibrant older. And melatonin holds that vibrancy. Now, hold on, I've got to cross Highway 1. Okay. The other thing, it's a holiday weekend. Usually there are no cars out right now. Whew, it's busy. So the other thing that melatonin does is it connects to nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide like effervescent bubbles in your body of help and healing. The more we can connect to nitric oxide, NO, the healthier we are. Melatonin helps you do that. How much melatonin you create is determined by how much morning light that you get in the morning. So let's take a mid break and let me ask you, what of those were important to you? Leave a comment. What were those were important to you? And maybe you knew all those things about melatonin. What made the most sense to you learning about melatonin? Now, let's go to one that is mind-boggling to me. Acid reflux. We have an onslaught of acid reflux. We know that magnesium is crucial for acid reflux. And remember, it's our 12-day sale right now. It's going till July 12th or while supplies last. Our next shipment of magnesium, the prices went up. We won't be carrying the 64-ounce jugs anymore. And they're on sale like 25% off-ish. Give or take a little bit. Might be a little bit more, a little bit less. And you can go to Living the Good Life Naturally. And once you learn this about acid reflux, you'll be blown away. At least I was. So we need magnesium for acid reflux because, okay, let me get up this hill. Oh my gosh, I can do it. I can do it. I did not drink enough water yesterday. I can tell, I can feel it this morning. Being in touch and in tune with my body, today I will drink enough water. Okay, I'm almost to this little spot. And this little grove of eucalyptus trees. Okay, isn't that beautiful? Okay, so magnesium, if you don't have enough magnesium, there's a sphincter valve with your esophagus and your stomach. It opens and closes when you have enough magnesium. And also, and now there are more things to experiencing acid reflux, but that's where we start. I didn't realize the role that melatonin plays in acid reflux. So every once in a while, somebody will do all the things they're supposed to be doing. Stop eating, stop drinking water with their meals to increase hydrochloric acid. We actually need more hydrochloric acid, typically about 98%, to offset acid reflux, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's not. So sometimes they just can't get on top of it. It's also a melatonin issue. Morning light helps you set that circadian rhythm and is a huge part in clearing up acid reflux. Acid reflux is doing damage to your esophagus, and we need to do everything we can because the quality of your gut health determines the quality of your digestion, and we know how important that is. So melatonin plays a role in that. And walking, I love that, Lorene. I love that. Good morning. So I will also, I'm going to sit down for a sec. Let's see. I'm already at 7 miles, so I'm going to sit. So we also know that taking melatonin, I believe the latest study that I read was about 3% of children are now taking melatonin. And part of that is because of a screen usage increase, because that blue light messes with our melatonin. And so at nighttime, specifically 2 hours before I go to bed, I'm very careful about my screen time, and I wear some blocking glasses to help my natural melatonin production. And so our kids, we need to be aware of that also, because the supplemental use of melatonin is increasing. And again, it's not this horrible thing to use a supplemental melatonin, but you need to understand what it's doing to your body and down-regulating melatonin. And when you down-regulate your own body's natural ability to make melatonin, you're down-regulating nitrous oxide, you're down-regulating hormone balance when your period starts, ATP energy, mitochondrial energy. And again, I have some of the bulletproof, and I do use it usually maybe a couple times a year, 2 or 3 times a year, specifically if I travel to more than a 2 hour time difference, I will use the melatonin to help get me back into that circadian rhythm. Now, another thing that I do to really help, because we want that strong dopamine and we want strong melatonin, and that helps that circadian rhythm. The stronger your circadian rhythm, the stronger your mitochondria function. When you think of mitochondria as the powerhouse of your cell, the more mitochondria and the better mitochondria function that you have, the healthier your cell is, the healthier your hormones are. And so one of the things that I do at nighttime is I wear a sleep mask. My husband calls it my eye whoopee. You know, like a little one will have their little blanket, like my sleep mask. I'm like, where's my sleep mask? Because being in complete dark determines if that's what signals your body to start producing your melatonin. And so let's say you're on your screen right before you go to bed, that's scrambling that melatonin production, which means you're scrambling mitochondria, you're scrambling ATP energy, you're scrambling hormone balance. So it's really important. So is what I do is I have some red light glasses that I put on about 2 hours. Sometimes it's an hour, but my goal is always 2 hours before I go to bed. And I put those red light glasses to block the blue light, because that artificial artificial blue light scrambles melatonin production. And then when I do go to bed, I pop on my my sleeping mask. Now, if you've tried a sleeping mask and you haven't liked it, you don't have the right one. So I will also have team link my sleeping mask. It took me a couple of tries to find it. I felt like I was suffocating. I'd wake up with a headache. It was too tight around my head. And so the one that I'm using now, I love. I'm not sure if it'll be the right one for you. You might have different requirements. You might not feel like you're suffocating. Now, this link, I want to tell you, I always want to be really transparent on this. It is a link to my Amazon shop, and I list some of my favorite things in that Amazon shop, and I will earn a couple pennies. It doesn't increase the cost for you, but I will earn like a referral fee, I guess is a good way to do it. And is what we do is we work with some other women entrepreneurs in Uganda that are amazing. Like, they're amazing. I just take notes from them every time I get to interact with them. And they're in Uganda and educating little girls and helping their community, little boys too, educating children and helping get all of their entrepreneurial projects go toward educating children, and they have to buy the uniforms and stuff. And so we take that Amazon money and we're in partnership with them and just doing what we can to help support that endeavor. And so I thank you for that. If it's a good fit for you, use that link. If it's not, look at what it is. Don't use the link and go to Google and put in the name of the product, and then you can bypass that if you're not comfortable with that. So I will link my favorite bulletproof. I will link the bulletproof melatonin because it's natural. You take less of it. And I will also link my favorite sleep mask. I want you understanding that melatonin and dopamine work together. One triggers the other to turn off. And yesterday we talked a lot about dopamine and our dopamine receptors. If you don't have strong melatonin function, you can actually short circuit your dopamine receptors because it's not getting told to turn off and rest. And so, are you understanding at a deeper level the importance of melatonin production? And so many times we think that it is just to help us get to sleep or to help us sleep, but it's so much more than that. It controls if we're menstruating, it controls when we bleed. You know, if you're bleeding in between periods, that's not a good thing. We want to stop that. Melatonin can play a role. Now, for some, it will completely, upping your melatonin game will completely stop that. For others, it's been going on so long that we have to add some other layers. I would love to know what you feel like was the most important thing about melatonin that you learned. Taking action, taking micro action when you learn keeps you from that scrolling on social media. That scrolling burns out dopamine receptors. And I don't want to be a part of people scrolling. So, what was the most important thing? Or you can also post what action will you be taking? What's the action? Early morning sun, those early morning rays that you and I get together on our morning walk are what determine how much melatonin you're going to produce tonight. So, having those really strong morning and evening routines, do you see how important? Like, I have an evening routine with my water bottles, my workout clothes, because it helps my day function better the next morning. Our body also needs a strong morning and evening routine, and it doesn't know the times. It's determining how strong that mitochondria routine is by light and dark. And so making sure that we're in the light in the morning and then we're in the dark in the evening. Oh, another thing I want you to do, a little test. This is just a little test. Oh, I love knowing that, Colleen. Janice, I'll be oh yes, I will post that. It took me a while to find it. I thought I had a good one, but sometimes it would come down. So this one has a little flap right here that keeps the light out, really soft, really washable. I use our facial serum at night, and so my it's like a straight oil that goes on my face and neck at nighttime. And so mine gets oily, and I've had it over 2 years, and I wash it sometimes a couple times a week, depending on how oily it's gotten. And so it's not only been more comfortable around my head, stays on better, but it's really worn well. So I'm not replacing it every 3 months. I've had it for a couple years. So, Janice, I will make sure. In fact, probably where team isn't working today, I'll get on and post those after. So I'll go right in the house and post those. That strong morning routine, just like I know if I wake up to certain things done, I have a stronger routine. And if your body wakes up with light and dark, it has a stronger routine. And I have an agenda. I want you healthier. I want you feeling better. Melatonin and magnesium go hand in hand, and we need them working together. And sometimes we can get stuck in that perfection pattern, or we can get stuck in researching for the right thing for us, like researching, like, I need to do this. And don't get me wrong, I love learning. Oh, I love learning. One of our other walks, we're going to talk about patterns and how I connect my vagus nerve by noticing patterns in my own body on my morning walk. So I love that. We do want you making sure that you're doing the grandma wisdom along with what's current. And sometimes we can be searching for that thing that we need to do. And actually, it's our subconscious keeping us the same. It keeps us the same. Subconscious wants you to be the same yesterday as you are today, as you will be tomorrow. That's safety to the subconscious. I don't want to be the same today and yesterday and tomorrow. I want tomorrow, if you meet me, I want you to see a better version of me. I want to see that. And so sometimes that subconscious can drive when we're searching and looking for something, when in actuality, we're not taking care of what we know. Setting a strong circadian rhythm, there's not a pill that can do that. There's not a doctor that can write you a prescription for that. It's you making sure that you're setting up routines that make you and help you create and support health. So, nothing wrong with researching, nothing wrong with learning, but let's make sure we're doing those basic things and setting a strong mitochondrial pattern for our body, because that's the core of everything. Don't chase symptoms. Don't be like, oh, I'm trying to fix my thyroid, or I'm trying to fix Hashimoto's. That's one. Oh my gosh, people are getting diagnosed with Hashimoto's like right. Oh, it's raining a little bit. People are getting diagnosed with Hashimoto's right and left. Don't chase your Hashimoto symptoms. Well, you can. I don't want to. I want to build strong circadian rhythms and strong mitochondrial function. And when I do that, it's a part of turning that healthy switch on. And then I don't have to worry about symptoms of Hashimoto's or that kind of thing, because the very core of my cell, the mitochondria, are functioning. And when they're functioning at peak performance, you feel better and you don't experience that level of disease. Um, oh, stay off the phone. You know what? This one, I had to adjust when I was interacting with grandkids on this one, because I was doing it before I went to bed. And so I've had to flip flop that a little bit. And I do put my red glasses, like, for example, okay, I want to be super realistic here, so I don't set you up for something that I'm not doing. In that, if my phone rings and it's grandbabies or my kids, I have my red glasses on and I'm going to answer that phone. I am not going to stay off that phone. I'll list those glasses too because some of them are junk and don't do anything. So I'll list the red glasses. So, okay, I'm making a list. I'm listing the melatonin I like, the red glasses that I like that block blue light, they wrap around, and what's the other thing? The mask. So I'm listing three things. Um, And so please know, I will answer that phone. My goal is always, though, to put that phone down and allow the light to heal my body. Strong morning light, strong nighttime light. Oh gosh, I've been a little squirrely at the end. So here's that little test that I talked about that I didn't follow through on. I think I saw a comment. So in your bedroom tonight, I want you to run this test. When you're ready for bed and the lights are out, I want you to hold your hand up about, can you see that? About right here. If you can see your hand, the light is not strong enough to set a strong circadian rhythm. So we have little things. The home above us has these Christmas lights in the shape of a flag that just blare through our bedroom. And so we had to put a film, it's like this covering that we got. And we put that film up so that our room wasn't affected by that light. And then in the front of our house, we've got a street light. So we were just getting hit with all of this junk light. And it makes a difference in how you sleep. So do whatever you need to do. Maybe it's a blackout curtain. I've got those on my front sliding glass window, a blackout curtain. I don't know how you want to do it, but protect the light in your home and make sure. And if you can see your hand at all, your room's not dark enough and it's affecting your hormones, your mitochondrial function, your dopamine, your sleep, so many things, your acid reflux, it's affecting all of those things. So sleeping in dark, walking in light is one of the most powerful things that you can do for your body. And then go soak in magnesium and boom, you have just started so many healthy processes in your body. My name's Kristen Bowen. I'm the founder of Living the Good Life Naturally. I'm so glad you took this morning walk with me. I'll see you tomorrow morning because all of July we're doing our morning walk together because we are prepping and getting ready for fall. We need our healthy switch turned on. And if you have acid reflux, if you sleep with a sleep apnea, if you have arthritis or you wake up in the morning and you're stiff, your healthy switch isn't on. Even if you're doing lots of things to get healthy, I want your healthy switch on for fall. I want it on to combat viruses because there's some new things happening with viruses and leading to cancer. And I want to be as healthy as possible. And I want my healthy switch on. And a part of that is keeping our inflammation down. And magnesium numbers aren't moving the way they used to. I'm seeing a decrease. They're moving a little bit slower. And it's because our cortisol has spiked collectively. And so we want to bring that inflammation down when we do our 30-day challenge in August to make sure that our numbers are as strong as can be going into the fall and winter because there's less light in the winter. And so we need to go in with our pineal gland because that's what produces melatonin and determines the light in your body. We need to go into winter with that pineal gland having a storage of light and magnesium so that we have a strong, healthy winter. Love being with you this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.